Well, Bruce Nimmerhout, an alleged instigator of the recent unrest in Gauteng and Kwa-Zulu Natal, is back in the dock. The West Rand's Patriotic Alliance leader is applying for bail at the Rudaput Magistrates Court. He's accused of creating and distributing a voice note in which a man can be heard urging people in the West Rand to commit public violence. But he's denied the allegation and claims he's been framed. Nimmerhout is facing charges of inciting violence as well as an additional charge of terrorism. A ruling on the matter is expected today. Well, for more on today's court proceedings, let's chat to our reporter Barry Bateman. Barry, thanks for standing by there for us. Have you heard the voice note? Because Nimmerhout's lawyers say it's not his voice, and he does have quite a distinctive voice.
Yeah, morning, Annika. I have heard the voice note. It has been altered somewhat. It appears that whoever recorded it slowed it down to make the voice a little bit deeper. The state alleges that, and the investigating officer, that on his interpretation, it does appear to be Bruce Nimmerhout. But Nimmerhout, as well as party members who were called to testify on Monday, say that it's simply not his voice. He's got a distinct accent. It is not him. The investigating officer conceding that this note itself still needs to be sent for analysis. They still need to get a sample voice from Nimmerhout so they can do it. And that particular aspect was an outstanding piece of evidence that was picked up and was capitalized on by the defense team, that you cannot rely on the investigating officer to make that link that it sounds the same. It simply will not stand up as evidence. You need that technical expertise and expert witness and analysis to come and be able to make that link. So that is one aspect today when it comes to the strength of the state's case. When the magistrate decides whether or not to release Nimmerhout on bail. Important note, on Monday we arrived, we thought it was a Schedule 1 offence, it was just incitement to violence. We soon learnt that it was now up to a Schedule 5 because the state had added terrorism charges. This meant that Nimmerhout had to prove why. The onus was on him to show why, in the interest of justice, he should be permitted to be released on bail. And on my reading of all the evidence that was presented on Monday, it does appear he will be able to get bail today.
Barry, you've covered probably the only democratic terrorism case in South Africa, and that was the Buramach. It's not easy to prove terrorism.
No, it certainly isn't, and I think on the evidence that we've seen so far, it doesn't quite amount to that. Or perhaps even if it does, the voice note itself, if you were going to analyze that and make a case of terrorism, you'd still need to link it to the person you're accusing of the particular crime. And that appears to be the bridge that the state needs to build in order to seal its case. The aspect that we don't know about, the state presented evidence that they had this voice note and they got intelligence, or they got information from intelligence that led them to Bruce Nimmerhout's number. What we're not being told is what is it? What is this intelligence? What is it in the voice note that linked them to Bruce Nimmerhout? We don't know that, and that would require further investigation. So even if they do persist with their charge of terrorism, it's that link between the voice note and the accused that they're going to have to make.
Barry, Mqunu wasn't charged with terrorism. Is the general sense that you're getting from the security apparatus community that these guys are low-hanging fruit? And where are the masterminds behind this failed insurrection?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is low-hanging fruit. I did a story just a week ago. We've been told about 12 masterminds. We've had admissions that there are senior people within state security apparatus that were allegedly driving this from behind. Well, in the absence of any arrests of that kind of level of people to show that kind of organization, this claim of an orchestrated insurrection simply doesn't hold any water. So until we see that kind of movement, and we have bigger fish than Bruce Nimmerhout here, facing charges, I don't think that the state can be taken very seriously on these claims of this well-organized insurrection.
Barry, let's be badly behaved and wade into the realm of speculation. Could it be that the main instigators are so enmeshed in the state security system that they're being protected somehow? I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I wouldn't even need to speculate on this particular aspect. No, I wouldn't need to speculate. We do understand, if you go look at the evidence that was led at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, we call it a rogue unit, for a lack of a better term. We know how loaded that term is within the state security apparatus, who had served the bidding of former President Jacob Zuma. Now, the allegation that has come out, and I do know is being investigated by the intelligence structures, is that particular unit, which still has the networks within the intelligence community, was activated, and they were the people who were driving it. But as we've just discussed, there is no evidence to confirm this at this stage. And you'd think if we had an intelligence structure with a state security agency, crime intelligence worth its salt, there would at least be some good guys within there who would be able to track down these people who are instigating this kind of violence and make proper arrests and put an end to it.
Barry, thank you as always for your insight. Barry Bateman there, following that court case. We'll bring you more on the story as it develops later on.